What's up guys, it's Josh back with another video, and I got a couple security articles that I want to cover in this video. So as I stated in the intro of the video, I wanted to show you guys a couple articles that I thought they were pretty interesting. They kind of deal with cybersecurity as well as privacy, and I thought I would cover them. They came out a couple days ago. Well, actually one of them came out today that I wanted to cover. I've been meaning to cover this because there were other articles that came out. It was like major headlines or whatever, but let me go on and start off with the first one. And the first one is Google issues a warning for 2 billion Chrome users. So I thought this was super interesting. It came out like 3 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago. But it says Google Chrome has well over 2 billion users worldwide. And it not only dominates the web browser market, its Chromium core runs numerous browser alternatives. And let me click on that so I can show you guys that my browser is actually on there as well. You know what I'm saying? But so check your browser, you know what I'm saying, or update it as soon as possible. Because based on this warning, you know, they don't give you much details of what is happening. But let me just read a little more of the article right fast. What it says. All of which makes Chrome the #1 target for hackers, and now Google has issued the 5th urgent upgrade warning in 2 months. So this has to be kind of serious, especially with them. You know, it's only been 2 months and they've given out like 5 urgent upgrade warnings to all of its users. So make sure you upgrade your browser because most people are using Chrome, and it kind of reminds me of Windows. You know how Windows is the most popular operating system in the world. So that's why a lot of hackers go after it. They make it their #1 target. Yes, they do target Linux boxes and Mac OS boxes as well, but Windows is the most popular desktop environment. So that's where a lot of the vulnerabilities are found, and they try to exploit those vulnerabilities because it's the most popular. Same thing with Google Chrome. Google Chrome is used by billions of people. You know what I'm saying? Everybody uses some form of Chrome, no matter if it's an alternative or not. And actually, let me skip over to the alternatives, just show you everything that's on there. So if you see your browser on this list, then it's Chrome based. But this is the wiki, and it talks about the active browsers that are based on the Chrome browser, Chromium. So it says Amazon Silk, Avast secure browser, and I'm not gonna go through them all. I'm gonna just point out the most popular ones, like Brave. That's the one I actually use. You know what I'm saying? It's a very privacy centric browser. And then also, let's see, another one. It's super weird to see Microsoft Edge. Now this may have came out a while back and I missed the article or something. I knew it was Chrome based, but I didn't, really think about it, because Microsoft always try to have their own browser. So I never, it never registered in my head that it was actually Chrome based, even though I read it somewhere. But Microsoft Edge is Chromium based, and it says as of 15 January 2020. So it has been Chromium based since then. And then Opera, which everybody uses Opera. I don't know a lot of these other ones, but I have heard of Torch, Vivaldi as well. I use Vivaldi. I have that as like a separate browser that I use for specific things, but that's Chromium based as well. So if your name is on this, or if your browser is on this list, then you might want to make sure you upgrade your browser. If you see any updates for it, just go on and upgrade it. But let's get back to the article. But it basically states down here, it kind of shows you all of the vulnerabilities, and it lists them as high, and they have the number, and then they also are the vulnerability numbers, and then also it basically gives you the researchers that actually found a vulnerability. It says this was reported by Nan Wang. This was reported by Weepeg. I don't want to mess up people's name, but WJ. And this was reported by CS, so Viatel Cybersecurity. And then this was reported by Raven, and this was reported actually by Vivaldi, one of the browsers themselves reported this. But that's how many, they've had in the last 2 months. So it's specifically 5. And then also it says, as standard practice, Google is giving little away about flaws. The strategy is to limit the spread of these vulnerabilities to hackers and buy time for users to protect themselves. As a result, this is all Chrome users have to go on right now. So that's, what I just showed you guys right there. But it says, use after free vulnerabilities that relate to the incorrect use of dynamic memory during program operations. If the program doesn't clear the pointer to the memory after it's freed, hackers can use this error to exploit the program. A further 4 high-rated UAF flaws was found in Chrome last month. Chrome has also had 8 zero-day hacks, vulnerabilities known to hackers before they are fixed so far this year. So that's crazy right there, man. I always recommend Google Chrome to people, you know what I'm saying? But it's starting to seem like it's a little unsafe at this moment, unless they can, kind of patch all these issues. But to protect yourself from these new threats, all Chrome users should go to the settings, help, about Chrome, Google Chrome. If your browser version on Linux, Mac OS, Windows is listed as 93.0.4577.64 or above, you are safe. If not, the about screen should prompt you to update and restart your browser. You should do this immediately, and I definitely recommend that. But it says Google deserves a lot of credit for the speed with which it continues to deliver fixes to attack on Chrome. But this is only half the solution. The other half relies on 2.65 billion Chrome users updating and restoring their browser. And we all know that a lot of users, they don't even, they kind of ignore the updates a lot of times, in my opinion. And based on what I've seen, they won't sit there and just go on and update because maybe they're doing something, or maybe they want to save a website that they have open. Just go on and bookmark that site, go on and update your browser now and restart the browser, and come back to this video so we can continue watching what's going on. But it says attacks on Chrome continue to grow as the market's position strengthens, and it has never been more essential to keep your browser up to date at all times. Go check it right now. Yeah, definitely. Now let's go over to the next article. And this one has been in the news a couple times, but this is, just one of the latest articles. This is on TechCrunch.com. This actually came out today, but it says Apple's dangerous path. And this is one thing that ties to what I always talk about, which is privacy. What they're planning on doing, and it's a good cause. I understand what they're doing, but you're invading people's privacy. But I've always said to people that anything you put on the cloud is subject to be seen by the provider. So let's read a little bit about it. But it says, last week we dove into the truly bizarre machinations of the NFT market. This week we're talking about something that's a little bit more impactful on the current state of the web. Apple's Noral hash kerfuffle. If you're reading this on the TechCrunch site, you can get an inbox and all that stuff. But let's go here. It says the big thing in the past month, Apple did something it generally has done an exceptional job avoiding. The company made what seems to be an entirely unforced error. In early August, seemingly out of nowhere, the company announced that by the end of the year, they will be rolling out a technology called Neural Hash that actively scans the libraries of all iCloud photo users, seeking out image hashes that match known images of child sexual abuse material, which is very understandable. I understand, what they're trying to accomplish by doing this. You don't want that type of stuff on your servers. I definitely agree with that 100%. But you're somewhat invading people's privacy, because there's a thin line between, you know, maintaining your person's privacy. I don't agree with any of, you know, child sexual stuff, so don't put me in that box in any way. I don't do any of that type of stuff, but at the same time, I also don't want something scanning my photos, because they could be using that information for other things, other purposes. For instance, a lot of these companies are working on facial recognition software or AI, you know, for facial recognition. I don't want my images and the details of my pictures put into their automated software that goes through and is stored on their servers without my permission. I mean, hopefully you get what I'm saying. But let me read a little more. But it says, for obvious reasons, the on-device scanning could not be opt out of. Yeah. So you can't opt out of it or whatever, even if you know, don't engage in any of that evil stuff. Because, you know, at the end of the day, if you look at children, you should be put under the jail. So I definitely agree with trying to find these people out, but I think they are going about it a little bit the wrong way, in my opinion. But it's just my opinion, you know what I'm saying? Don't beat me up too bad in the comments. But it says this announcement was not coordinated with other major consumer tech giants. Apple pushed forward on the announcement alone. And if you scroll down a little further, it basically says researchers and advocacy groups had almost unilaterally negative feedback for the effort, raising concerns that this could create new abuse channels for actors like governments to detect on-device information that they regarded as objectionable. And I definitely agree. That's basically what I was trying to say earlier. I mean, government overreach, you know, as well as them using your pictures for other, I mean, and that's why I'm always weary about telling people to put their stuff in the cloud, because at the end of the day, they pretty much own it. At the end of the day, it's on their servers. You know what I'm saying? You supposedly own it, but at the end of the day, they own it. They can do whatever they want with it, and it's nothing you can really do about it. That's why I always big up Nextcloud or OwnCloud. You know, just go down and create your own cloud server, and all your information is, all your photos and everything is on a device that you control. But it also says right here, as my colleague Zach noted in a recent story, the Electronic Frontier Foundation said this week it had amassed more than 25,000 signatures from consumers. On top of that, close to 100 policy and rights groups, including America Civil Liberties Union, also called on Apple to abandon plans to roll out this technology. This issue, of course, wasn't that Apple was looking at finding ways to prevent the proliferation of the CSAM while making a few devices security concessions as possible. The issue was that Apple was unilaterally making a massive choice that would affect billions of customers, while likely pushing competitors towards similar solutions, and was doing so without external public input about possible ramifications or necessary safeguards. A long story short, over the past month, researchers discovered Apple's neural hash wasn't as airtight as hoped, and the company announced that Friday that they would be delaying the rollout to take additional time over the coming months to collect input and make improvements before releasing these critical, important child safety features. Having spent several years in tech media, I will say that the only reason to release news on Friday morning ahead of a long weekend is to ensure that the announcement is read and seen by as few people as possible, and it's clear why they'd want that. It's a major embarrassment for Apple, and as with any delayed rollout like this, it's a sign that their internal teams weren't adequately prepared and lacked the ideological diversity to gauge the scope of the issue that they were tackling. This isn't really a dig at Apple's team building. This is so much as it's a dig on Apple trying to solve the problem like this inside the Apple Park vacuum, while adhering to the annual iOS release schedule. So I'm not going to read anymore, but this is just something that I thought was interesting. I thought you guys would check out. I'll have both of the links to these articles in the description of the video. So just go on and tell me your thoughts when it comes to these two issues that have popped up or whatever down in the comment boxes below. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, keep it techie.